Hi guys, Hari here, doing another first-person VOD, this time a team matchmaking game that I'm playing with two friends, banning draft. So I'll kind of get right into it because I'm starting a little late as usual. Anyway, we had first pick, ended up taking Soulstealer. This is not something I wanted to do, but I kind of banned myself into it. I'll talk about this a little bit later after I go through it. I don't know what their second, third pick were. I'm going to guess. I'm pretty sure that it was Malakin, Myrmidon. We followed up with Engineer, Andromeda. They picked Kraken, Defiler, and now we're down to our last picks. Yellow wants to pick Tempest. Unfortunately, he kind of told us a bit late, so it's kind of too late for me to talk him out of it. I really should have thought quicker on my feet. But Tempest is not a good pick here because basically everyone on their team, other than Malakin so far, can stop a Tempest ult. So he's really not going to be good. It's not good. Not to mention it kind of sets up the Kraken ult. The picks here should probably be Behemoth. Dampier, I guess, is alright, or I don't know, something like that. Definitely not Tempest Dampier, because Tempest is just not really a good pick, but we'll get into it. I mean, well, it's alright, because with the Soulstealer ult and NG ult, but, I mean, still don't agree. Anyway, that's the pick, and then they're going to finish with a Behemoth pick. I don't really like our lanes. Well, we have Andromeda Dampier top, which is alright. Andromeda's not really a good support hero in a dual lane just because her range is so poor, but with Dampier they can be pretty aggressive, so it's not that bad of a lane. Engineer will have to solo bottom, which again is alright, not the best ever, but could be worse, and I'll be going mid. Based on the heroes that they have, the fact that they only have two ranged, well, it's kind of a clusterfuck, to be honest, because Defiler shouldn't be side lane supporting regardless, because she's not really good at that. So Defiler needs to be mid, but at the same time, then they only have one range, so they're going to have a dual melee lane top, which also isn't good. So my best guess would have been that they would put Kraken mid, and that Defiler will probably babysit in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, so as much as I wasn't happy with the Tempest pick, I'm kind of just rolling with it. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, so now I'll talk about the whole Soulstealer thing. So basically, every time I play banning pick, I always, without a 100% certainty, ban Soulstealer. Because Soulstealer is a very strong hero, especially in pubs where he really needs to kind of be kept down all the time. People have to pay attention to him. In pubs, he really can just take over the game very easily. I mean, in all games he can do this, but especially in pubs because people are less likely to gank the Soulstealer mid frequently, etc. So I always ban him because I don't want to play him. Quite simply, I'm not, well, I don't want to say that I'm not good enough to play him, but that's kind of true. But basically, I don't play him enough that I am good enough at aiming hands consistently and stuff like this. And he's a very skill-intensive hero compared to most others. So I really just try to dodge playing him whenever possible. So I just ban him so that I don't have to play with him or against him, and the problem's solved. In this picking, though, I don't know. I didn't think anyone on my team wanted to play Hellbringer. I don't really remember exactly what the situation was, but I basically backed myself into having to play Soulstealer, or at least having to pick him and have someone play him. And then, kind of given the way things panned out, I figured that I would play him because it seemed most likely. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go mid. I do save a little money here for a bottle because I'm expecting to go up against Kraken, so I shouldn't need too much regen. So this should be enough. Honestly, I probably could have gotten away without even buying that, and maybe just getting less damage items as well, but I don't know, I really want to get my last hits up. So I should go Soulsteal first, basically because unless you're bottle ferrying, getting hands level 1 just isn't that effective because 75 damage is kind of pointless. Like I said, we'll have Dampier Andromeda top, and then Engineer soloing bottom. Obviously, you can't really have someone solo top against a dual lane, that would be pretty unfortunate. But yeah. Alright, so there's a couple more things as well. You can see us setting up for Rune Gank here. I actually, to be honest, you would probably not ever see this game if I hadn't been playing against someone who actually watches my stuff, because, like I said, I'm just too embarrassed with my play of Soulstealer to actually show people that, firsthand. Because at least when you're in a game against Soulstealer, you don't necessarily know how much he's fucked up, but I fuck up quite a bit with Soulstealer. Just, A, because of skill level, and B, because of lack of familiarity. Because of skill level. So, unfortunately, I played against at least one person who watches, and therefore felt compelled, since this was a good game, actually a very good game, pretty much thrown by me, but still a good game, to do it. So, yeah, you're going to see some badness, and it actually took me a while to actually just get around to casting this because of my ineptitude. Anyway, so I'm up against Kraken here. I'm going to play really aggressive in the lane, try to build up souls quickly so that I can harass him even more. Basically, anytime I'm not last hitting, just try to hit him, playing at least at the creep line, if not further up. Obviously, he's going to get one at least every 12 seconds or whatever it is, level 1 with Splash. There's nothing I can really do about it because the damage is just going to be too high, so I'm just going to have to try to get everything in between. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can see I'm already kind of being pretty successful in this lane. The fact that I have this many souls this soon already, I guess, is probably a pretty good sign. It means my base damage is going to be pretty high, which, since he's melee, I'm going to be able to harass him pretty effectively. Pick up Soul or Demon Hands at level 2, do a terrible... Well, I expected him to try to run up and hit that creep there. Yeah, I'm even pointing out my bad hands, because I was, I think, explaining that to them. Like, there, I expected him to run up, so I expected to hit him and the creep with the hand, except I just wasn't positioned properly, so I missed. Yeah, so just going to go back to last hitting here. Yeah, he's basically having to play really far back already. Yeah, see there, you can see, again, I try to set up a hand that hits him both the creeps, and once again, I fail. I mean, I'm sorry you guys have to witness this, but I did promise that I would cast this, so I don't really have much of a choice. I'm actually going to pick up Soulstealer level 2 here instead of hands. Part of this is because obviously I'm missing hands, but part of it is just because... Alright, well, so let me at least put a disclaimer. You should never do this. Always get hands level 2. Like, I mean, it's such a big difference, 75 versus 150 damage, especially for a nuke you can use twice, etc. Like, hands is basically just better past level 1 than Soulstealer is. However, given this situation in which A, I'm basically missing everything I try hitting with a hand, and B, I'm really kind of dominating this lane just with my right clicking. Like, I don't need the hands to get last hits, and I don't need them to harass him out of lane because I'm already doing all this with just auto attacks. So basically, I can just, by getting more souls, still keep him out of the lane, still keep farming just effectively without having to burn mana or push the lane so that he actually is able to get a better chance at last hitting. So in this situation, I think it was acceptable for me to get Soulsteal over Demon Hands for level 3. It didn't end up really obviously mattering because there was never a situation, but I mean the fact that it didn't matter actually meant that I did make the correct choice because I didn't do anything except farm, and I didn't have to waste any mana farming, and I'm already at higher base damage than I would be otherwise. I kind of expected him to run up there, so I expected to hit him with a hand, but I kind of failed at that. Unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of just farming. I mean, this is kind of what Soulstealer does. There's not a lot I can do about that. So at least half of the video, I think, which is about an hour long actually, is going to be spent watching me farm. Not always very effectively. Still, I'm here kind of playing up on the ramp. I understand that this can be bad because I get ganked. So basically, I'm just. I think I've already said to my team that I really need them to make sure to let me know right away if someone leaves lane, because I'll definitely be expecting them to try to gank mid since I'm dominating it. I'm sure he's letting his teammates know, which is an important thing to do. I think he's trying to line up a dash there, so I kind of tried to move back even a little bit further so he couldn't charge me into the hill. Anyway, here you can see I do nuke down the creep wave because it's almost 4 minutes, so I want to get the 4-minute rune spawn, and it's it's easier to get the rune, obviously, if I push the creep wave back and force him to deal with that, and then can go towards the rune. So even though I'm just trying to basically last hit using auto attacks, or farm using auto attacks, I'm going to nuke, obviously, at the wave that comes. Usually it should hit in the middle about 15 seconds till, and then that's the point at which you nuke, obviously, or nuke as soon as possible, and then you can go get the rune more easily. He ended up actually trying to shade the rune bottom, so I did actually get lucky that it spawned top, and I got illusions, which is going to make the fact that I have high base damage right now even more overpowering in the middle lane. So I'm going to be able to keep last hitting and denying without him really even being able to get close because of the amount of damage I can put out to him with last hits. Again, I saw him moving forward there, so I kind of nuked in expectation of that, but he didn't end up doing it, but so it wasn't that bad of a nuke. I've got plenty of mana at this point and a full bottle, so I can kind of get some leeway. I may be auto-attacking their creeps a bit more than I should in between last hits, which is kind of pushing the wave, and kind of is going to let him farm now. With illusions, I really should have been able to just go 4-4 there, last hit and deny all of them, but maybe it was pushed up a little far to begin with, and the creeps formed in such a way that it wasn't exactly going to work out. See, here it's 520, so I'm not going to nuke down this wave. It's the next wave that I'm going to nuke down. So just always kind of paying attention to the time based on the runes. So yeah, here I'm doing a better job of kind of keeping creep equilibrium, so that they don't push into his tower and there's no safe zone for him to farm at all. This should be my last wave, yeah, with illusions, so obviously I won't have quite as dominant a position in a second. Yeah, there I knew he was coming up and I saw that 2 were lowish. I could have actually probably tried to finish him there when he ran up by hitting him and using Demon Hand one more time, which is something I didn't think about, but I think I was kind of just paying more attention to worrying about the rune spawn time, which again is why I nuked down this wave real quick. Unfortunately, there's the whole bullet catapult problem, but not too big of a problem. Again, yeah, I was actually considering typing out sorry to him there because he did go bottom rune twice and get unlucky that it didn't spawn there. The top lane is pushed up basically to our creep wave, and since I'm running top now, I have a haste. This is a perfect situation for me to gank, so I'm going to try ganking with this haste. I tell them to go in already, and I once again miss with the nuke, but I hit that one, so that's alright. Yeah, miss with another hand. Basically what you would expect, but this guy should die anyway. Yeah, I tell them not to chase into the tower because I actually have the E, the long range hand, coming up again there, so even if he had gotten away, I would have been able to hit him with the hand. They're complaining about the haste that I got there, which was pretty lucky. I mean, haste is always obviously a very good rune to get to gank with, especially with Soulstealer, who can't exactly gank very effectively to begin with, without runes in the early. Well, he can, but you kind of need stuff setting it up, you know. Yeah, there I kind of tried to hit with two hands in a row to nuke down that creep wave, since once you hit level 7 and you have level 4 in demon hands, you can double nuke creep waves. But I, once again, mess up my positioning. I guess I should probably just stop talking about messing up the positioning because it's kind of getting old. So essentially, to anyone who's watching this, yes, I understand I need more practice aiming demon hands, or I could just not play Soulstealer and not make videos of it anyway, which is generally the plan to begin with. Here, yeah, I make a mistake, which is to use a hand that hits both the range creep and the melee creeps, which would have allowed him to deny the range if he'd been close enough, but he clearly wasn't. The reason why I was nuking down that creep wave as well is because bottom's missing, and I'm afraid of getting ganked through the woods. We do have a ward that would actually kind of see anywhere that they could come at, which thankfully I actually asked someone to place for me, again, because I was kind of dominating mid, and I really didn't want to be in a situation where they would gank me because of the fact that I'm winning mid, and it would be the best way to keep him down. Here, haste spawns bottom, and exactly like I pointed out, because I forced the creep wave back into him at the tower, he's unable to come get the rune, because he's basically decided that he's, after getting unlucky twice, he's done giving up farm to guess at the rune, so he's going to farm. And fortunately, I get another Luxac haste, and I come to gank bottom. They actually, I guess, know that I'm coming, but I'm still going to try to get whoever's possible here. Yeah, Andrew lands a really nice stun on the behemoth right as he was trying to fish her there. I hit my first hand, but then missed the second, but I know I'll be able to finish her with the third hand there, which actually just barely hits. I should have probably moved up while I was attacking a bit more than I did, especially given that I have haste. It should have been pretty easy. Yeah, so here I actually do manage to, I remember to switch to agility treads, or steam boots, before I use the last bottle charge, which is just an important thing to do, obviously, as people pointed out. That one's just embarrassing. Well, I really thought I'd turn. Like, I mean, I understand that hand is obviously not going to hit. I thought it would have turned more, I guess, by the time that the hand went out, but it had not. Looks like they're diving our Dampier top, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't have a TP on me, which is something I should work on. Again, one of my weak points that kind of persists, even though I've noted it before. And then looks like Kraken kind of got fed up of hanging out mid and went to try to go gank bottom, but then got killed. Since there's no one here, and I've just nuked down a creep wave, I'm going to try to take this tower. Yeah, and then hopefully pick up the 10-minute rune. Someone actually does teleport in, but depending on who it is, I'm still going to try to take the tower. Yes, and amazingly enough, I actually got off one more attack there. I didn't actually, even when I was playing the game, think that I had successfully gotten that one off. I thought he would actually have stunned at the perfect time to deny it, but just kind of some more luck sack on my part. And it worked out. I'm going to get Portal Key now. I don't know exactly if there... Well, I mean, kind of it goes with... We have a Tempest, so... yeah, see there I try to nuke because I know the rune's up and I want to go grab it. We have a Tempest, so I basically expect him to be able to